Good evening, everyone. Welcome to In Touch, a masterclass on school products powered by Brain Wonders in partnership with Bag of Tricks. This fourth edition of Masterclass series will take you on a short journey of introducing you to 30 innovative school products selected from across India. In this masterclass, innovative products, informative content, and progressive ideas are being shared with you. We remain hopeful that this and forthcoming sessions will inspire you to take your school community to a new direction of development. My name is Namrita and I will be your moderator for today. I represent India's largest career counseling organization, Brain Wonders. With 108 global centers and 12,000 connected schools, Brain Wonders has been revolutionizing the face of academic guidance, career development, and personal growth via its US patented DMIT and online psychometric tests. Founded by Mr. Manish Naidu, over the past decade, Brain Wonders has been nationally awarded on 7 different platforms, including recognition for being the most trusted and digitally innovative career counseling company. Excellence and passion is what Brain Wonders strives for. And with that, let's begin today's session. Before I welcome today's speaker, I request all our audience to immerse themselves in this session and hold their questions, which will be addressed right after the session. I present to you today's speaker, Vishakha Yadav, who's the founder of Bag of Tricks. After 7 years as an educator, curriculum developer, and taking on different roles in schools, Vishakha has her dream gig, an entrepreneur, educator, mom, who helps families everywhere, including hers, and learns outside. Vishakha has earned her bachelor's in elementary education degree from Delhi University. She went ahead to explore the forte more and did her MA in education and leadership from Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai. Prior to Bag of Tricks, Vishakha has worked as an elementary middle school educator for different schools. She taught subjects like English, theatre, and humanities. When she is with her son, Vishakha is that unapologetic mom who plays along with him in mud, dances in the pouring rain, and builds a great pot with her bare hands. Therefore, when she was on maternity leave, she realized that her passion solely lied in working together with kids in the best classroom possible, the nature. She puts together activities that helps build core skills in the learners of today's generations. And today's session's topic is learning through problem solving. Over to you, Mrs. Yadav.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good evening, and thank you for taking your time out. Just let me allow the screen sharing. Okay. So, thank you for introducing me, Namrata. As they always say that, success lies in the intersection of three things: genuine interest, your skills, and opportunities. So, I had a genuine interest in this field for more than 7 years, and based on my skills, the best time I got was during my maternity. So I have a 2-year-old son, and I got an opportunity to develop something, and this is it. We are here with Bag of Tricks, and unlike all the speakers we've had on this forum, we have just started out. So we are not into the business yet, but we are just starting. So many people had come in and spoken about their initiatives, which are absolutely amazing, I thought. So they spoke about how you can apply to universities, schools. So UniApply had come, Open Door had come, Yellow Bus had come. So they were already into the business for a while. But we are a little different. We are just starting out. And it is only because of Namrata we are here. And we are ready to speak in front of you guys. So wish us luck and let's begin. Okay, so I want to start by just narrating a poem from one of my favorite poems from William Wordsworth. It says, "My heart leaps up when I behold a rainbow in the sky. So was it when my life began. So it is now. I am a man. So be it when I shall grow old or let me die. The child is the father of the man. And I wish my days would be bound each to each by natural piety." So basically, the meaning, the crux of this poem is, how people should always maintain their, childlike wonder, no matter how age, however or whichever age you are at. You should always behave like a child. So the idea behind Bag of Tricks is a child centric, and how to develop that, how to not let go of that childhood in the times today where everything has been taken over by apps and online learning, and those boxes that come at home. So okay, so yeah. So we are a Bag of Tricks is a direct consumer service which we earn revenue when kids enroll with us for classes. Now, what kind of classes are they? So we have like a leader, and the kids are supposed to come out in the park, in a local park. Okay, so where we all get together within the community. The parents also have to join in, and then we have a kind of a setup wherein everybody around us and whoever is enrolling with us, we learn together. So the idea of Bag of Tricks essentially was born after the birth of my child, where my husband and I started to talk about the fact that what are we going to do as a family to help raise this child. I mean, we know they're going to go to the school. We know they're going to make friends, and we know they're going to learn and all and all. But as a family, when we have our family time, what are we going to do at that time? How enriching can we make that experience for our child? So the idea was born at that time. So we spoke about it, and uh, we spoke about the fact that what are the skills we want to have what skills we feel that our child should have when he grows up. And we want him to be a confident thinker and happy and a well balanced person, and we want him to be a problem solver. So that's the skill we want him to have at this, in these times that we live in. So how do you reverse engineer all of that into the child? Because schools, they do their part. Parents, they do their part of paying the fee, getting the school admitted. But how do you reverse engineer all of these skills into the child? So that is where the problem was. Okay, so we want to develop something which could fix that. I mean, something which could fix that problem where the child is learning those skills actively. So what are the skills which are required in 21st century? So as our conversation rolled on, we talked about our own childhood, talking about most vivid memories that we had and all. We wondered what could we do with those kind of memories, and what we can do to create a product for the people. Yeah, a little more days and similar conversations. We bought a domain name. We didn't know at that time what's going to happen, but then we bought a domain name, and we named it Bag of Tricks, and it became our passion project after that. We saw an opportunity and we never looked back. And actually, after buying the domain name, we realized that there are very few people in the market who are actually doing this kind of a work wherein they're asking the kids to go out. Everyone is asking the kids to sit at home, be in the comfort zone, and not move out and not move around. So we were quite different, and we wanted to build it up. Uh, for families with young kids and teenage kids, spending that purposeful time in times of today is a challenge. To thrive in this dynamic world, kids need an outdoor play experience which will deliver hands-on lesson and social interactions and activities. Um, while it is important to create outdoor memories, most of the people are stuck at the point ki, acha, we take the kids out, or now what to do? So we've been there in that situation, and that's why we started Bag of Tricks. We help families to get outside and make most of the kids' early learning years. Designed by educators, or our play-based outdoor curriculum guide parents in raising healthy, confident, and capable kids. Through instructor-led and self-guided programming that spans all 4 seasons, we make purposeful outdoor play doable for every family, rain and shine. Okay, so there are many kinds of play. So it can be child-based, child-initiated, spontaneously guided, and adult-led. So all kind of plays we cater to. So we are basically 5 families come in, and there are about 5 kids with us. We give them a task at hand. So suppose we give them a task to solve an issue. So we basically go to a park, we give them some material, and we ask them to do something. So it can either be child initiated, it can either be guided, like guided a little bit, or it can be adult led. All kinds of plays we cater to. our pedagogy each week. So once the child enrolls with us, every week we present a design scenario in a group. Our lessons are inspiring invitations to play, and our leaders, together with parents and caregivers, support children at driving their own learning. Over the course of each unique session, powerful themes emerge and children strengthen skills through play. The children will engage in these activities over all 4 seasons we witness and collect season badges. Now, these are the timetables of really, really famous schools out there in some of the very known cities. I have not named the schools, but what do you notice about these timetables and what's missing? So if you can just give your comments. Well, exactly. Um, So exactly, sports are missing. So apart from that, even if kids do have a sports class, probably grade 3 to 4, they get about 3 sports class in a week, 3 to 4. Grade 5 to 6, they get about 2 sports class a week. And then in the senior classes, they reduce it to only one. So, but no one has actually noticed that there are no life skills classes. There are no classes which will teach us life skills. Life skills such as problem solving, life skills such as empathy, communication, resilience. I mean, I don't know, but actually, I don't blame the schools. It is very unfair for us to just put everything on the schools because they have a set of subjects to teach. And if, for example, if I go into a school and they say, okay, no, we have life skill classes, we have sports classes, music classes, but we don't teach subject, I would rather not send my child to that school. But I would also want to seek what kind of what kind of inclination they have towards life skills. So life skills are completely missing, if you can see in these timetables. And I have seen many other schools which do not really care about these classes. And even if they do have, maybe they don't have a teacher who's trained to teach life skills. Maybe they don't have like enough time. They just keep one life skill class per week, which is not at all sufficient. Okay, so let me tell you through an example. Now say problem solving is a life skill. Why is it important to learn problem solving skills? Because we all have to make decisions. Whether we are a student, parent, or a business person or a politician, we face problem on a daily life. The ability to solve complex problem was called out by the World Economic Forum in 2015 as the most important skill we needed for future jobs. Even in the NEP that has come in 2020, it has promoted life skills such as communication, problem solving, cooperation, and teamwork as the key skills to be blended with curriculum along with the STEM courses. Now, STEM courses, if you know, are science, technology, engineering, and maths. So in the STEM courses also, all these life skills are important. So I know you guys are a little disconnected on what exactly is BOT, but now it has now come to a point where I should tell you that we offer free play life skill classes outside in the nature where your child comes to us, we present them some issue or a problem or we give them a prop and they lead the class forward and the parents are also involved in this. So these are the life skills that we focus on: communication, focus, social skills, sensory skills, empathy, resilience, wellness, problem solving, persistence, collaboration, stewardships, and creativity. So basically our curriculum is made on one life skill every month. So if a child enrolls for the month of, say, January, so he will learn a lot of activities which has to do something to do with communication, and he will actively engage in them. It's not that when we suppose we're teaching a poem in the school and it's about like World War or something. Empathy, resilience are factors that are being learned by the learner passively through that poem. They are not actively engaged in those. Okay, so that kind of learning we will do. We will actively help your child to engage in active learning, and they will learn life skills through outdoor play. Now, going to show you guys a video.
Whoa, that's not good.
Oh, I don't need this.
already late.
Somebody will come. Anybody out there?
Do you have a phone?
No. Sorry. Somebody! Hello? There are two people stuck on an escalator and we need help. Now, would somebody please do something? I don't believe this. You gotta be kidding me.
I'm gonna cry.
Well, there's nothing else left to do, is there?
Hello? Hey, don't worry about it. I'll fix it in a second.
He said he can fix it. All right. All right. That's more like it. He says he can fix it.
Life is good when I see the sunlight in the morning. Lying in my bed, it's Monday 10 a.m. Walk across the room and open up the window. Feel the fresh air and the sunlight in my face. Life is good.
Okay, so I know you guys are wondering that why didn't they just walk up? But it's never very easy for everybody. You can't just say that, oh, it's so easy. I mean, you can just walk up. Why are you being so lazy? We saw two people riding an escalator. So what happened was we saw two people riding an escalator and suddenly the escalator breaks. And after a moment, they start shouting, I don't need this, help. There are two people stuck on the elevator. Can you help us? They're just yelling. I mean, even with children, you can understand how easy it would be to walk away from their difficult situations. You know, sometimes in state of helplessness, confusion takes over and clouds our head, and we are not able to move forward. So if adults sometimes give up rather, and all these kind of obstacles, we give up so easily. Think about a child who's just a 5-year-old and a 6-year-old. It's very easy for them to just give up. So that's where we come in, and that's where we tell you that we provide a platform wherein we provide such kind of situations in a play area where students are actively engaged in different skills, one skill at a time. And we give time to each skill. A month is given to every skill. The activities are designed in such a manner that I mean, the child is actually immersed in that kind of environment where he is the one who has to lead the group forward, and he takes on his own learning, the onus of his own learning. Now, whether the issue is big or small, we all set goals for ourselves. Our structure, the way we give a play, the way our lesson plans are designed, we give a structured and unstructured plays to the child, and we have flexible thinkers thereby. Because if we suppose, I'll show you through an example like this. Yeah. So suppose this is a task. So if we give them a log of a pile of sticks, and we say that, dear explorers, enjoy these sticks, use them to build and then there's a ripped note. Can you see at the end corner of the here? There's a ripped note. So now the explorers are busy thinking, they're negotiating, they're talking to each other. Okay, what can this be? What does this person wants us to do? What do we do with the sticks? So first they will think of a game. Okay, maybe the person wants us to make a bridge, or maybe the person wants us to make a castle. So that kind of problem solving, and then coming to a conclusion and thereby acting on that conclusion. That kind of play environment we're gonna be putting your child to. Okay, so let's go back. Now, when we say active learning, so by active learning, what we mean is, there's a clear example that I've written. When we were a teenager, did we take driving lessons? No. We likely started in a classroom, learning the rules of the roads and the theory behind switching gears. Maybe you could ace every test and nail every question, but when you got behind the wheel, actually, it was a whole new ball game. Whether it is your first car or a first job, you've certainly felt the gap between what's learned by reading and listening and what's learned by doing. That's where active learning comes in. So suppose if problem solving is just done as a by skill, as a just a skill in the school, what if we engage your kids actively in that skill for about a month? We get a flexible problem solver. We get a flexible child whose minds are always developing, whose minds are always working. Okay, now so these are some real life issues that the kids face on a daily basis. They have toy issues, they have sharing issues, they have peer pressure, they have textbook question issues, they have examination issues, some have parental issues. They have issues with screen time, food habits, friendships, anger issues, injuries, and illness. So all these real life problems that are faced by the kids, only few are catered in the school scenario. Okay, not everything is catered to in the school scenario, but we provide a setup wherein families of the community come together and they uh, they are uh, they are into a circle wherein they are playing such games, and they are into the outside in the nature where they are dealing with these problems and they are solving these problems. Now, what techniques are we using for problem solving situations? So probably we can use a realistic, posing a realistic problem to them and then solving it. So suppose if you can see in the picture, now these, I know this game because I've played it. These are two teams, one on the right and one on the left, and they've got this plank and they can't step on the grass. So how do they cross the river and go to that side? So those kind of issues. Now they are thinking about it, now what to do, and then finally they come up with a solution. Emotional coaching we can use. Problem solving with creative play, some storybooks can be read, some conversations can be done. Problem solving with craft material. So like the example that I showed you, the sticks one, it was totally based on craft material. Then asking open-ended questions, and then problem solving with prompts, breaking down the problem into chunk. All these techniques will be told and will be taught to the students or the kids that will come to our classes. So this is one example. Now another example is probably we take a sheet. Suppose we take a sheet, an old sheet, and we ask them, okay, we are sitting in a group, we are sitting in the park. Okay, very good. Now this is a sheet that has come in front of you. We want this to be a special sheet. Okay, so we want to decorate it. Now what do we do about it? We don't have brushes, we don't have colors. Now the kids will think, so what can we do to make the sheet colorful without using actual colors and brushes? So they might just go around, look in the park, collect some berries, collect some fruits, and get them start, make them into colors and then start brushing. They may, they may take some twigs, make it into a brush, and then start coloring. So those kind of problem solving. So the activities are really simple. You might just feel, okay, it's बहुत simple, but for a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old or a 5-year-old, this is a challenge. Okay, and they have to think a lot before coming to that conclusion. And it for them to have that kind of satisfaction, okay, so yes, we solved the problem, is a very big thing. Now let me just explain you with another example, which is empathy. Now empathy, as you all know, is the awareness of and the ability to share feelings of others. And it is very abstract. It is very difficult to learn at a very young age. And you can imagine developing empathy in kids. You can't imagine developing empathy into kids overnight. It is important because we are all born with the capacity to be empathetic towards others. But our ability to develop a strong sense of empathy really boils down to how much practice we get. And since empathy plays a huge role in our ability to form meaningful relationships with our peers, classmates, and co-workers, it's a skill that can set us up for long-term success if taught correctly. So what will our approach be while teaching empathy? While empathy takes a certain amount of maturity to fully grasp and comprehend, there are a lot of empathy activities for young kids you can do and in the classroom, and we can try. During the BOT classes, we plan to develop empathy with play-based learning activities designed specifically for the age groups. So suppose in this activity, now I've written down the activity also. So this activity is called Happy Birthday Earth. We take the kids out, we tell them, okay, the parents are also there with us, and we tell them that, okay, today is Earth's birthday. And we have to act empathetic towards Earth. Now, what do we gift the Earth? So they will think, and obviously all the problem solving communication, everything will be involved. So doing a small activity like cleaning up an area of the park, or probably, planting some more trees, can be as good as a gift to the earth. So, encouraging the kids to get into those, what do you say, not thinking about getting wet, getting muddy, getting, the clothes being spoiled, not thinking about all of that, and actually indulging into play. And this will be really, really interactive and a very interesting activity to do this with the young kids, because it's a very the mud plants, these are very, what do you say, interesting props. They act as a very interesting props for kids. Okay, so things like, so if you see, if I've written here, I mean, let's have a party, what do you think earth eats? So, simply making those mud cakes, and simply making those flower. Okay, let's make a bouquet for the earth. So making that kind of a bouquet using things that are available in the areas around us. So those kind of activities kids will be indulged in. So this is one way to teach empathy. Now, other way will be to create empathy models. So suppose we ask them, okay, what it feels inside after I've hurt others' feelings. Can you draw? So this child has drawn, and he's drawn a broken heart, if you can see. So that means, it hurts here if you hurt somebody. And then if you think of this child has done that. Who in your family do you think gets really annoyed with you when you do something bad or when you hurt him? So the brother or a friend. So these kind of activities can be done. Taking the kids out on a farm visit is a very, very important and a very easy way to make the children more empathetic towards animals. Okay. So apart from empathy, there are many other skills that we are focusing on. So suppose as things like as easy as taking the child on nature walk. So telling them that, what are the sounds that you're able to hear? What do you notice? What do you notice all these sounds at your home? So these are the activities which we can do. So this activity in particular generates a lot of curiosity and focus in the kids. Now, making an orange feeder, for example. So taking an orange, using it to make a feeder, using the very limited resources, and putting it up on the trees and hanging them. So it will involve a lot of fine motor skills, sensory skills, and it is also a problem solving. So if we can go out in the park and say, okay, so we have to, the birds are hungry. Okay, what do you do to
ये हम लोग नहीं कर पाए
make them,
या जो कुछ भी रहा, लेकिन वो अपनी
Okay, so now this is also another activity that we've thought of. These are all out of our curriculum, right? Be a shutterbug. That means give cameras to the kids, obviously who are older, and with the permission of the parents, give a camera to the kids, and they walk around in the park or whichever area you are at, and they click a lot of pictures which inspire them. So some might click a sparrow, some might click a picture of a squirrel, some might click a picture of a plant. So, then again, sitting in a circle time and then asking them that, why do you think that picture is important to you? Okay, so activities like these can help a lot in a child's brain development. So how does Bag of Tricks work? Now, parents will enroll their kids in a series of classes uploaded on the website. So if you have a website, the parents will go there. So for example, classes on empathy. They will select the study circle location. So suppose they select a study circle location that is Leisure Valley Park. So there's a park in Gurgaon. I'm actually based out of Gurgaon. So then they will select the date. So they want the child to do particularly only 2 classes on empathy. So they would select dates, and they can also go in for a monthly plan. Then BOT leader will take the classes according to the students enlisted. So suppose for one child, Leisure Valley Park is nearer to his house, so he might select Leisure Valley, but the other child might select another location. So that Bag of Tricks leader will go there and then take the classes from that location as well. Okay. What do we offer to the kids? A lot of things. We develop a range of physical, cognitive, social, and emotional skill. They would inspire to wonder, activate senses, leverage the brain science. They would also develop stronger self-esteem and be confident speakers. They will also be meeting kids of various age groups in inclusive spaces in which every child is celebrated, valued, connected, and encouraged. And they would also learn to take care of the nature, since we are already out in the nature. What do we offer to the schools? Now we have a program that will be only specifically focused on the school. So schools which are not able to take out time and give life skills lessons, we are there to help them out. So that if they don't have a time in their timetable, they can't give us a slot, even a half an hour slot. So okay, we can take a class online on a Saturday. Okay. If they want, we can come to their school and also take classes, life skill classes. Online and offline classes in Delhi NCR, we do teacher trainings also. So if you have somebody in your school who you think can be very, he or she can be put in to teach life skill to students, we can provide the trainings to those teachers. Then flexible modules as per timetables. So if you feel that, okay, we are only able to give you time out on a Tuesday at 12 o'clock. So we are ready because we are okay, because we know how things can get when it comes to running a school, because schools have a lot of responsibility and they also need to do a certain number of working days in order to comply with the rules of the government. Then we also share a lot of workloads from teachers. So if suppose you want us to come in and take the life skills classes, so that means the teachers will not be burdened that much, because I know, because I have been a teacher, teachers are always burdened for every small little things. We are only the ones, so we are like the gatekeepers also, the medical teacher also, we're everything to the children. So a little bit of loading, workload sharing will also be done by us if a school comes to us and pursues our courses. Now, who can be a BOT leader? Very interesting, because BOT leader doesn't really have to be a teacher. It can be anybody. It can be a person. It can be a parent from within the community. It can be a parent from the study circle also. So the parent only needs to be a little creative. He needs to be driven. He needs to be of a value system where he wants to help the kids, and also engage with them in a manner in which the teachers do. So you just need to talk to us, have a little bit of training with us, and then you are good to go and you can be a BOT leader. So suppose if suppose next month we have some classes scheduled, and if a parent calls up and says, okay, I would want to take a warm-up session with the kids in the morning before we start the classes. So why not? We could just connect over the phone, and if his understanding of what teaching is and our understanding of what teaching is match, and then we can go forward with it. So anybody can be a BOT leader. How are we any different? So now we are different because our classes are taken in local green spaces. Most of the classes are taken from the house, or their classes are taken from some fancy places, but our classes are taken from the green local spaces. And the network of mom and dad are mission driven. So the BOT leaders, if they are moms and dads of the kids who are already in the study circle, they are all mission driven, self-motivated and enterprising individuals who feel strongly about benefits of outdoor play. So it is now, I think, very clear that people who will only join us if they sort of match, if they sort of think that life skills are important. So those kind of people will only come and join this classes. We squarely address the early childhood enrichment market. That said, our service is a substitute for other purchases such as educational toys, kids app, kids media and entertainment, and even formalized preschool programs. It's a huge opportunity of make a difference through play-based learning. So as it is, I've just written it down here. We are actually a substitute for educational toys, kids app, kids media and entertainment. So if a parent is giving a chance to all these forms of learning, we are also there. So if you want your child to go out and learn something, we are there. Okay, so these are the spaces we actually plan to offer our classes at starting next month. So this is the barnyard. This is a place in Delhi wherein there are a lot of farm animals. So some visits here can be planned according to the kind of activity we are doing. Now, there's a strawberry village in and around Gurgaon only, wherein we can go for tree plantation, for activities like tree plantation. Then there's a bird sanctuary near us. Actually, Gurgaon is located in such a place where we have all these places in and around us in a radius of about 30 kilometers. So 10 to 20 kilometers. So I think the parents will be more than happy to get the kids here. Then there's a Leisure Valley Park, very famous, as I also had mentioned before. in the classes. Then there's a Huda Biodiversity Park. There's Aravali Biodiversity Park, Botanical Garden. These are all green spaces where we feel we are going to be taking classes. And we have already spoken to a lot of people who are in charge of these green areas. And we also understand that when once kids are there, that we can mess up the spaces, but then we have hired helpers who can help us, clean up the area and leave it as it is. And if you think that no, we're going to mess up the place, so no, we're not going to be messing up the place. Then a few other parks that have been identified. Okay, so these are the parks which are indoor. So sometimes probably due to rains and all, the classes can be taken indoors. So we also have tie-ups with some indoor play areas, wherein these are the two tie-ups that we have right now. There's another farm that we can go to. There's the Nest Gurgaon. This is a family play already. So this is a very nice place because this place has a whole separate area given for plantation and a whole separate park area given for playing and doing some activities, as you can see in the pictures also. Okay, so our current status, because of the lockdown, we had to start a year earlier, but we were not able to. So we are planning a series of online classes among the COVID-19 restrictions. The online classes will be based on skills that we have talked about in the earlier slides. Parents can go to our website and enroll for these classes. So classes like experiments, real life finance lessons. Now this, if you can see, voices are not for yelling. So, kids nowadays get really angry on certain small things. So, taking a workshop with them, talking about anger and all of those things. So these are the classes which are planned for the month of February. In a nutshell, if you believe that the play is serious work for child, then yes. Do you believe that child deserves an unhurried childhood? Do you believe that the play-based learning has a positive impact on development of a child? Do you believe that there's higher chance of the kids to learn life skills if they're provided in a safe play-based social group? If the most of the answers are yes, then we are there for you. So that's it from my end, and I look forward for the question and answers round.
Thank you so much, Vishakha. We actually do have some questions already lined up for you. Dear participants, you can now present your questions to Ms. Yadav, and I'm sure she'll be very happy to answer them. The first question has been presented by Dr. Yogita Sarwal, who's asking, are your services available in Punjab as well?
Currently, our online services are available in Punjab, not offline. Our offline classes are only limited to Delhi NCR as of now, but we want to expand. And also, I wanted to add that we are also putting up all the activities that we are doing on the website very soon. So, because we want parents, if the parents want, they can do those activities from the comfort of their homes. So everything is going to be available on the web net.
Thank you. I think some people would like to connect you on a LinkedIn network as well. Are you available on LinkedIn?
Yes, we are. And I would ask one of the team members that we have here to just kindly share the LinkedIn profile here so that you guys are able to connect with us.
All right. Okay. Your contact details, then I'm sure we will post that as well. All right, dear participants, you can continue posting your questions on the chat box. You have the activity section as well. You can, of course, raise your hand and present the question as well. So, meanwhile, I do have a question of my own. Vishakha, you had said that you had came up with the whole idea while you were on the maternity leave.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Usually, when we talk about maternity leave, we think of, women who are kept very safe, not really going out much, to be honest, right?
Yes.
So at that particular point of time, how did you come up with the concept that is completely based, on outdoors?
When my child was about 20 days old, my husband had a delegation and we were off to USA for about 4 months. And there I realized that even a child who's like a 4-day-old child was out in the nature. The mother is walking with a stroller out. And that made me believe that that Indian culture, which is not wrong, depends on person to person, that culture of, keeping the child with you all the time, not taking him out, gir jayega, that kind of fear that we have in our mind, which is obviously very true because I also had those kind of fears, is good to some extent, but then we have to let them grow. We have to, in order to make them responsible and independent individuals, we have to start early, and the earlier the better, because the more chances your child will get to explore. So that's when I really realized that we can do, because I saw a group of children out there doing similar kind of activity in the park, and they had kids from right from the start of 1.5 year of age up till age 5. So that group was obviously a smaller age group, but then they had a kid who was just 1.5, was not doing much, was just running around behind the other kids, but was also learning. So that's when I was actually very inspired with this idea. And actually, with when you talk about the weather, we always say no, bahut garmi hai, and actually I feel that there's never an inappropriate weather. It's always an inappropriate clothing. We always fear that bahut pasina aayega, lag jayegi, ye ho jayega. But then why? I think we should all. The beauty of kids is they don't feel all of it. We feel it because we are adults. I think kids don't feel garmi, sardi. You have schools which don't have AC. You have schools which don't even have fans. So we have survived it all. But yes, that's when I got the actual inspiration, when I was out with my husband and I was alone, and we had a lot of time to think about it. So yeah.
Thank you. I agree with you on the fact. I mean, it's everybody knows. All of us here are educators, and we do know that fear is a learned emotion. It is not something that is inherently present in us. So that is what we pass on to our child, rather than sometimes the curiosity, the adventure streak. Yes, safety is important. I do agree with the fact, but I think it is only, you need to let them know, how to be safe in a particular environment, rather than not give them that opportunity to explore at all.
Yes. And rather than hiring some nannies to look around, that will be a very a school kind of an environment where there are two nannies, kids are playing and doing their own thing. I am involving the parents because nowadays the parents are not involved in child's learning because of their busy schedule. So whatever time they can, even if they come out for 1 hour on a weekend, rather than going to a mall, just come to these classes. I mean, I think you'll learn more. In fact, you will enjoy, because once you get into the shoes of kids, I think you also enjoy, and then you are there to take care of the kid right in front of you. So yeah, I think parents' involvement is a must. As a community, we can grow. That's what I say.
Very well said, Doctor. Very well said, Vishaka.
Yeah.
So now we have a question by Pankaj Jain. How to develop problem-solving skills in children?
Mr. Pankaj, as I said in the previous slides also, it cannot be developed just by one activity. It cannot be developed just by one individual. You need to push the child each and every time, every month, every day, to have that kind of skills intact. Now, I don't say we give a foolproof, solution to acha bacche ko kabhi problem hoegi nahi. No, we are not saying that. But then we are giving them giving them an opportunity to react to a problem in a different manner, to think of possible solutions and actually do something to do with, even if in the life, if they grow up, they have some problems, there are multiple solutions, and sometimes it's very easy to just come to a conclusion, but then we are stuck. That's when we come in. So these activities are taken up over the years, and it takes a lot of time for kids to develop these skills.
So there's a follow-up question by Pankaj Jain. What are the different ways in which we can inculcate these things in the children along with the regular curricular activities?
So as I said, actively engaging the students into these activities. So sometimes, so suppose when I say, if the child is learning a poem in English and that poem talks about empathy, firstly, the child will learn the language, the child will learn the figure of speech, the child will learn about the author, the child will learn about what the poem is trying to say. Very passively, the child is going to be learning sympathy. Acha, sympathy bhi hai, matlab ye. But if you put the child through a series of activities which will involve him to be sympathetic, then only the child will know what actual sympathy means. So you can go on and on by saying, okay, write a passage on, how to take care of animals. But if you want them to learn how to take care of animals, you take them to a farm and tell them, okay, today you are the boss, do whatever you want to do, you have to take care of them. The way they learn at that time will be I don't think that kind of knowledge and understanding will be comparable to any class that they might attend.
I agree with that as well because I think a bookish something that is not a bookish information cannot be taught via a textbook or
Yes.
a live demonstration. It has to be experienced. We are talking about life skills here. We are not talking about a piece of information that they have to retain, just in case if they have to answer to it. They have to perform, they have to realize, they have to regulate. There's a lot of things attached to it, and only when you give them that atmosphere to experience that emotion for themselves or experience that skill for themselves, the student also know that yes, this is something that I know now, this is something that I have developed now, this is something that I'm aware of now.
Absolutely.
So for those of you who are interested in contacting Bag of Tricks, the contact details have been posted by their team on the chat box. I'll read it out for everybody's reference. So we have their email ID, which is contact@bagoftricks.in. That is contact@bagoftricks.in. And of course, we have the phone number as well. It is 9311619991. That is 9991. I'll repeat, 9311619991. And their website is www.bagoftricks.in. We have a question by Shalini Mehta. Do you think we as educators can redefine education by establishing a paradigm shift towards life skills?
I think there are two aspects to it. So one, if you talk about the schools are already giving a focus on life skill, but as I said, not much. Yes, I think we educators can redefine education by doing a life skill based teaching curriculum, because in any kind of subject, any topic, you give me any topic right now and I can tell you 10 life skills that can come out of it. So yeah, basically giving that kind of importance to the learning outcomes, possibly when you're planning, not just focusing on the chapter. Yes, of course it is very important, but then giving that kind of understanding that if the school is a very progressive school, so there is an importance on life skills. So there are very few schools in India which actually give an importance on life skills. They are doing their own job, and I think the educators out there are now trained in a manner wherein they teach in a way that life skills do come out, and they teach through problem solving, they teach through communication, they know the importance of all these skills. I think we do play a very important role in redefining education, and we can the educators can do a lot more, because after the NEP there has to now unless the guidelines come in, we have about 1.5 year. Every school will have to ultimately shift to and we have to follow NEP. So NEP as such, I told you, it suggests that all these 4 skills should be inculcated along with the subject. So we need to, and all the education must be trained. So right now I feel all the educators who are out there, they need to be trained in terms of how to take this on, how to take it up in a classroom. Right now we don't have that kind of education, so some in-service training or out-service training can be provided to the teachers in terms of when we talk about life skills.
Very well said, Vishakha. Of course, I mean, as educators, it is our responsibility to redefine education in a way that fits the right way of development of the child, the right way of helping the child learn, explore, unlearn, and grow to their fullest potential. I think that would be the last question of the evening. So if anybody has any further question, I think we are good on time. We can have one more question right now. So if anybody wants to present, they can do that right now. All right, so we have a final question of the evening by Dr. Nalini Arora, who states, at every stage in our lives, we are faced with problems and challenges. As an educator, our role is to prepare our children to face the future with confidence and independence. This means equipping them with necessary skills to solve problems and navigate challenges. Why do we have textbooks which still have matters or topics that don't get connected or don't come to any use in the future life of a child?
It's a very interesting question. There are again two aspects to it. One is why the textbook don't have matter which will involve, get the connection of the child in the future. Okay, that is one thing. So every time the guidelines come in from the education department, they very categorically, I think, state that these all are the skills, these are all the contents that should be there in the books, but it's up to a local publisher which takes up few topics, and then he or she publishes that kind of a book. Now if you talk about NCERT, that is the like a central kind of a book, and a lot of schools are using it. NCERT over the years, when I was studying NCERT and when we look at the NCERT now, has changed totally. They talk about, so even if they talk about germination, they would ask the students to, germinate a seed and then see the changes over the next 7 years. Now, it is upon the teachers to take that activity, how seriously the teacher takes it up or skips it, because it's going to take 7 days and it's going to take resources. And it also depends on the school, how good the school is at supporting the teacher. So I think textbooks, the textbook knowledge is very important. So that's what I'm trying to say. We are a Bag of Tricks is a company wherein we are supplementing school learning. We are not there to say that, physics, chemistry, biology, these are not important, because they are the way your child knows. They are the basic knowledge the child goes to in school for basic knowledge. But yes, life skills are also very important, and sometimes due to n number of reasons, the schools are not able to provide those kind of skills. So yes, so textbook knowledge is as much as important as the skills which we have spoken about. And why textbooks don't have that matter, which don't get connected to the child, is, I think, depends on publisher to publisher. So we have some amazing publishers, like Collins is an amazing publisher, Oxford is an amazing publisher, NCERT again is an amazing publisher. Now, if you look at some books, do you feel that this knowledge is really not? So I remember I was in a previous school teaching Dubai, something about this country, Dubai, in one of the chapters, humanities. So in one line, it was written that, people out there are leading a village life. They're leading a village life. They're leading a remote life. People out there, they wear burqas, they wear this thing. But if you actually look at Dubai in today's scenario, it is nothing like that. I mean, I know there can be 1 or 2% of percentage of people who are like that, but there was nothing. I mean, it was a book written, I think, 20 years ago. So I think books need to change. The people who write the books, they need to get in touch with the actual knowledge we have today. And obviously, read and follow the guidelines, what the government says, because I think all the government, if you read, actually, if you go and sit and read the NEP, it is the most amazing document I've ever read. I think it talks about everything in whole, a child as a holistic individual. So yeah, I think that answers the question. I think the book publishers need to be responsible enough to think of what topics they are printing, will it be useful or not. And if they are, suppose there's NCERT, if they're giving too many activities in one chapter, so I think the teacher might skip 1 or 2. So, there has to be a perfect blend of an activity, some knowledge, some life skills, and so on and so forth. So there has to be a perfect blend.
Very correctly put. I think we do have really good resources in the Indian education system as well. We have good innovators, good thinkers, good educators in the Indian education system. I think we just have to make the right choice. It's all about making a well thought, well researched choice. And as far as sometimes connecting certain topics to the ground realities is concerned, I think Bag of Tricks has a lot of things, a lot of services that they offer, which could help us actually connect with certain things and ensure that certain skills which are very important to child, or let's say human development, I'll say, not only a child, is something that can be practically experienced, learned, explored, questioned, and then again absorbed. I think that is something that we always have. So thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us today, for joining us on today's session, helping us helping us know of the possibilities that you offer for a child's development. I'll say it definitely is reassuring to see motivated educators like you, motivated thinkers like you, and of course your team as well. who know that, okay, a child's development is something that needs to be taken very seriously, but it also needs to be, it just has to have the childlike fun attached to it.
Yes.
Thank you, dear participants, for participating and engaging in today's session. It was definitely a great experience for me. I hope it was for all of you as well. Everybody, I'll see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Have a great evening till then.
Thank you.